Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you need counseling, feel free to get in touch with us. Those of you who have properties to sell or looking for a property to buy, you can also get in touch with me. And if you lend your family and your co-worker and your friends your hard-earned cash and you cannot get it back, feel free to contact us at 1-868-339-1670 or 1-868-238-6716. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of you that are on our page, viewing from our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, like and share the page as we go live. Encourage your friends and your family, your co-workers, your neighbor. Ask them if they ever heard about Real Talk, the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago thus far. So viewers, encourage them to like and share the page where we give you up-to-date news of the events that happen throughout Trinidad and Tobago and even outside of our country. We keep you up to date with it. So, remember viewers, like and share the page as we go live. You know, we want the public to know, we want Trinidad and Tobago to know that this is the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. Why am I always saying that? Because thus far we have been the #1 when it comes to the updating the public with current affairs that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. We are allowing you, Real Talk Studios is allowing you to call in, to voice your complaint, your frustration about drugs, about the MPs, about the councillors, about things that are happening in your area, and even seeking the best interests for citizens in our country. So viewers, hence the reason why we are the #1 station, the #1 current affairs program, and we will always be the #1 because we will always keep going up. When you're called to be a leader, you will always be a leader. Always. So remember tonight, viewers, we have our drivers going on, raising $10 million to build the Rape Crisis Center for Trinidad and Tobago. It will be a rehabilitation center for rape victims. Now, like I said, what you are seeing on screen there is the landscape, how the landscape would look to the back of the building. That is how it would look. Now, it looks pretty comfortable. It looks comforting. It looks like where you can go and just sit down and meditate and relax. That is part of the rehabilitation part. It's to bring them back from where you are to where we want you to be. You know, to give it that sense of peace and comfort and let you know everything is going to be all right. So feel free to contribute, viewers, to this drive. I am not begging for me, you know. I am not begging for me. I am begging the businessman, the businessman and woman, the entire population of Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension outside of our country, for assistance in building this building. Like I said, we have already provided the land for you. All we need is to raise cash to build the building. That is all you need. You don't have to pay 1 cent. It is not a place where you come in and you have to pay for a counseling session or pay for a service. No, you don't have to pay for the week or the 2 weeks you will be spending there. I will be funding that. I will be paying for the doctors and the nurses and the counselors, even for security. I will be paying for all that. All I need from you is 7,000 people to contribute $1,500 each, and we will make it. We will make it. So now I have provided a car for those of you contributing $1,500 and over. A beautiful car. It's valued over $150,000. Is one of many vehicles we will be giving out. Now, if you can't match from $1,500 and over, and you want to contribute something, You can contribute 1,000, between 1,000 to 1,500. You can win an all-inclusive trip for two to Tobago for a weekend. And if you can't make that, and you want to contribute at 500, it's all well and good. You could get a chance to win a beautiful jet black and gold bead. Courtesy Real Talk. It's a chain with a pair of earring and a handband. Now keep in mind, you are not gambling. I often say this, you are not gambling. I am a Muslim and I will not encourage the gambling. What you are doing is that you are making a contribution. This is not a lotto and play with. This is not that. This is not that. This is we are raising funds to build this center right here in Trinidad. So viewers, I'm asking of you, feel free to contribute, the businessman, the businesswoman. Now if you are a businessman and you contribute, I will shout out your name or your company name on TV. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So what we want to start to do now is that those of you business people, you know, if you want to make a contribution, we could run an ad for you. We're coming up with ideas. The thing is, we need to raise funds. So if you contribute $7,000, $8,000, we could run an ad for you. Nothing wrong with that. You see, when you give to us, we're giving back to the public. It's not that I'm begging, you know, but we're asking for assistance in building the structure. Apart from that 2 years, I never had to ask anybody for anything. And I thank God for that. But we're raising funds now. So if you decide, you know what, Saieed, I'm going to give you 10,000 or 8,000, we'll build an ad and run it for you. Just for contributing, nothing wrong with that. So viewers, as we start off tonight, it's a lovely Monday. I hope you all enjoyed the weekend, stayed out of the prison, stayed out of the police way. Those of you who had to work, well, I know it's Monday, the first day of the week to go back to work. I hope you really enjoyed your work today, as I do with mine. You see, when you have a passion for something, you will always enjoy it. You see, my editor guy, he have a passion for editing. So it doesn't matter what you bring to him and how it is, he will fix it to suit. My director, Shane, he have a passion for TV thing, computer thing, you know. And Watchman is part of that because it's free now to smoke. But nevertheless, I want to say a special good night to my crew members tonight. You know, for always being there. They realize the seriousness, the effort that we put out every day, you know. The job is long, the hours are long, but nevertheless, we get it done. And each one of us here at Real Talk Studios, we take pride and passion in what we're doing. Now, if you don't have passion, everything that you do, it will become a problem if you don't have passion for it. So that's just a word of comfort tonight. For those of you who are working in a job and you don't like it, you have to have passion. Otherwise, everything will become hard for you. So as we start off tonight, Police Commissioner Gary Griffith have been instructed to suspend all of the officers involved in the shooting in Morvan last weekend. There were 18 officers present in the shooting death of Joel Jacob, Israel Clinton, and Noel Diamond. In a media release, the PCA said its Deputy Director, Michelle Solomon Baksh, also briefed the Director of Public Prosecution, that is the DPP. The police killed Jacob, Clinton, and Diamond on June 27th. CCTV footage shows that 3 men surrendered before being shot. The deaths of the 3 men and the subsequent release of the video footage on social media sparked protests and confrontation between police and residents of East Port of Spain last week. The Law Association had also called on Griffith to suspend all the officers involved. He responded that there would be illogical. That's what Griffith said. It would be illogical to suspend these officers. So viewers, this is a matter that is in the public domain. I want to hear what you have to say concerning the matter. I want to hear what you have to say concerning this, because this is an issue between the citizens and the TTPS. So I want to hear what is your take. And I know there are high-profile individuals who look at Real Talk. Maybe they can call in and voice their concern coming to this matter. So as we move on tonight, 53 men have been granted bail after they were arrested and charged for gathering at a bar in Belmont last Friday. Now keep in mind, there is a public health regulation in effect. It is in effect. Now, you could be around a table in a bar, and you could have 10 people for the most. This is according to the CMO and the Minister of Health. You can gather in tens. You see, I will tell you something. The barman, the owner of that bar, in order for you not to get into problems, you need to set a standard in your bar. Now, you have the right to sell alcohol or do not sell it because of your license. Now, if you take pride in your business and you want your business to function under the public health regulation, it is very simple. All you need to do is come out and make sure that in every table that there are 10 and under sitting. And you will get through. You would get through. That is not hard maths. It's a simple thing. Caller, good night.
Oh, good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes?
Good night, good night.
Go right ahead.
Good night, Mr. Saieed. Good night. Good night. Have your number, please.
The matter was heard by Magistrate Sarah De Silva. The men were granted bail and the matter was adjourned to August 3rd. Cedric Berkey from Silots was among the group of men who accessed bail through the High Court on Sunday. Last Friday, various police units descended on the bar where a large group of men had gathered. It's a simple thing for the bar owner to do. It's very simple. You want to have your establishment open, you want to make your money, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Now, I think the Bar Association of Trinidad and Tobago, they want to take legal actions. Now, they have some good ground, some good points. Because why I'm telling you this is that when you go to the market, while in the last 3 months that went by, when Trinidad and Tobago had the stay-at-home policy and the COVID-19 were in effect, the markets were jam-packed with people on a Sunday. They had a lot of people. They had on their masks, but there were 30, 40, 50 persons in the market. So they have a point. Now, we go into the supermarket. We go into the supermarkets. They had crowd. They had crowd in the grocery. There were crowd in pharmacies. So why? Why is the CMO and the Minister of Health going against the barmen so hard? Why are they doing that so hard? Now everybody's back out. Everybody's back out. If you walk down Port of Spain or you walk Arima or you walk San Fernando, you're in a crowd. You are in a crowd. And we're not talking foolishness. We're talking things that we see every day. It's every day we see this thing. So I don't see what is the big idea about anything. Because the beaches are open back, and when you go to the beach, it's over 50, 60 people you've seen on the beach. It's over that. And we are seeing that right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, when the beach opened back, how many people were there at the beaches? They were lined up to go Maracas for miles. Police were doing their exercise, yes. So why are they targeting the barman? Why? You see, I wouldn't stand for A and forget B. I would be even right across the board. It's sad, you know. It's sad. Because one business bracket is being targeted, while other business brackets are allowed to have crowd in their business space. Could somebody give us a solution? Could somebody? 238-6716. Let me hear what you have to say. Because there's a numerous amount of people who go in the bar to relax. I'm not saying drinking is right. But this is where they go to relax. I'm talking like if I have a bar here. I'm talking like I run in a bar. Viewers, is there any barman who willing to call in and let us know what you think? Feel free, 238-6716. We want to hear your point of it. We want to hear what you think, your views. Because I could stand up right here and talk about the grocery, talk about the supermarket, talk about the Sunday morning market, talk about the pharmacies. They all have crowds. They all have crowds. So listen to this. Investigators were expected to approach officials at the DPP office today for instruction on how to proceed against an assistant commissioner of police. Last Wednesday, a 58-year-old officer was taken in for questioning by officers of the Professional Standard Bureau. The officer is currently attached to the Komoto base. He was detained at his home in Tableland at about 8:30 a.m. that day, and taken him for questioning. He was questioned at the Bureau office along Cipero Road in San Fernando in the presence of his attorney. A series of questions in relation to allegations dating back to 2017. The ACP was allowed to leave. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night. Let me face real facts here now. Because Indians apparently own most of the bars, they are the ones, just like the doubles vendors. Because at KFC, the doubles vendors get a break. But they're just victimizing these people because most of the bars owned by Indians. Very face facts.
Well, I wouldn't put race in it. That is one thing I would not do. I would not put race. I would use as bars in general. But you have your views. Trade union are again condemning the government for what it deems to be a refusal to engage union and work on a wage freeze. Wow. Caller, good night.
Good night, sir. Very quickly, the solution to all the problems that exist tonight can be resolved on August the 10th. Just get this government out, and I think our problem will solve financially, health-wise, economically, and all how. Just get this government out. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So the government now wants the union workers. Apparently, they are thinking about a wage freeze. Speaking at a media conference today, NACTA General Secretary Michael Anisette said, even the police service has raised concerns about salaries. He claimed that the government has found billions of dollars to stimulate the economy, but complained on there being no funds in the treasury. Mr. Anisette said that the recent study have found that the wage and job-led growth in the best approach. Now all this coming from the union leader, because the trade union have been condemning the government for what it deems to be a refusal to engage union and workers on a wage freeze. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali, you talk about bars. All the bars have to do is just adjust the table and put a few chairs. But it have a bar in Lower Bar 4 that all over the night, up to 10 o'clock last night, they have been playing music hard. Extremely hard because you don't have sleep. The galvanized making noise.
Okay, but have the residents of the area made a report to the police?
When you go to the police, like something wrong up there. Something wrong with the Barco police station. They don't know what I do.
Thank you, caller. One day after the People's National Movement launched its election campaign, the party dropped one of its candidates from the race. Brigadier Ansel Antonio has been removed for comments he made during the party's campaign launch on Saturday. His comments were made against the United States. This prompted the party political leader, Dr. Keith Rowley, to remove him from the slate of candidates. So because if this individual was removed, the PNM full slates back down to 40. We have the video of what this guy said. He was condemning the United States for being a something hole. Hey. Caller, good night.
Sorry, good night.
Go right ahead.
Sorry, honestly speaking, it's an election year, right? And had Mr. Antoine said what he said about the U.S. pertaining to somebody within the United National Congress, he'd have remained right there as a candidate for the seat of David D. O'Meara. Understand? Because right now, Keith Rowley know, is even though it's election year, America's still watching at Trinidad for them bringing Delcy Rodriguez into this country, and to have somebody from the sitting administration in an election year talking bad about the U.S., you know, right now, Keith Rowley frightened. So, you know,
yes, true.
A move to move Antoine. But, you know, we don't see the master already. In the election year, let's say. But on the issue you're talking before putting into the bars side, I think the government, they really, in particular the chief medical officer, they're really trying to, they're confusing people. Because
true.
you talk about the different phases, right? You speed up the phases. We have no evidence of community spread of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago, but yet still you're trying to force this restriction on people gathering and assembling. The main reason why people congregating so much volume of people is because they know that we don't have no COVID-19 within no community in Trinidad and Tobago. And that's the main reason I think the government should really, well then again, the election is so that they can't do nothing. Tanti can't come in and change the vibes in the place. Thank you, Saieed.
Thank you, my friend. The barman just have to know how much people per table. That's all they had to do. You had to monitor, you had to supervise. Yes, everybody wants a crowded bar, you know. Where the crowded bars is, there's the music, and there is the deals on the beer, and there's the ladies. But you, as the barman, had to monitor your bar. The United National Congress has announced its first slate of candidates for the upcoming election. On Sunday night, the full list was revealed. As speculated, political leader Kamla Prasad-Bissessar dropped 10 of her current members of parliament. The 10 MPs dropped from the UNC slates include Shogunas East MP Fazil Karim, St. Augustine MP Prakash Ramada, Kuva North MP Ramona Ramdial, Orpuch West MP Vidya Gayadeen Gopi Singh, Komoto Manzalina MP Christine Nawalo Hussain, and Karani Central MP Dr. Boindra Tiwari. So those were the MPs that were dropped from the United National Congress, and Kamala is saying that she have a full slate. Now she's also saying that there's the 10 that were dropped is that there are 10 new faces now on the UNC contesting the upcoming general election on the 10th of August. So viewers, like again, from now until election, from now until the election is here, I want to hear from you, from the constituency throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Have your representative been working for you? Is your representative that you vote for the last 5 years, did they do a satisfying job in your community? Are they worth putting back there for another 5 years? You be the judge, but I want to hear what you have to say. Did he did well? Did you see them? Did they perform? Did you get the road fixed? Did you get water? Did you get electricity? Did social development take place in your community? Let Trinidad and Tobago know. Let them know. You see, it's not me just coming and talking about this party and that party and the issues. I want to hear from you what you face in your community and what you were promised. This is what I want to hear from you. Did the promise materialize in your area? Did you get what you're supposed to get? Now, it's not just one party, not because the PNM they are saying that, you know. If I were here, Real Talk Studio were running, when UNC were in power, I would have been asking the very same thing in an election month or in an election year. Did they perform as they said they would? So this is what I want to hear from you. And I am definitely sure there are other people in other constituencies wants to know what is going on in other constituencies. And this is the program to bring it to you live. Government is maintaining that the closure of our borders have made it to control the spread of COVID-19 in this country. This came from National Security Minister Stuart Young. Minister Young was present at today's virtual media briefing. He said another group of nationals will be returning today.
Today, we're bringing in persons from Cuba, not only our students, but Caribbean Airlines is doing a flight to Cuba and St. Martin today, and we're looking at 29 persons from Cuba and about 17 persons from St. Martin have been granted approvals. Some of these persons in St. Martin, I'll let you all know, are MIC workers who have been there since March, and we've been asking them continue to stay in place. So just to let our nationals know across the world, we do feel for you. We do understand the difficulties. We all have persons outside, personal to us, who would like to come in but can't come in as we continue to manage this process.
Minister Young said another group of nationals are expected to return this weekend.
This will include some of the students in Grenada. All of them will be granted exemptions. But just to let the public know, even when we grant these exemptions, there are persons who still choose to stay in place. So the next step for us is Grenada. We have also been looking at the United Kingdom and Canada as the next shortly, and there will be exemptions granted to these two jurisdictions this week.
So that was the Minister of National Security, Minister Stuart Young, saying, given the approvals for these individuals to come home, and he even looking at other countries to grant them access to come into Trinidad and Tobago. So for a short time in Trinidad now, we had the Canadian workers who wanted to go back to Canada. So listen to this. Nationals awaited to travel to Canada to work on farms will soon be able to do so. This is according to National Security Minister Stuart Young. He made the announcement earlier today.
We have a number of flights going out starting from today, I believe, or in the next couple of days, taking the farmers who want to go and work as seasonal farmers in Canada out. The first flight is not going to bring anyone back, but we are looking at the second Caribbean Airlines flight, allowing a number of persons back. You will be granted exemptions and then touch base with Caribbean Airlines to be able to come home.
So viewers, listen to this. The farm workers in Trinidad going to Canada have been complaining that the ministers do not want them to leave Trinidad. Now, because the borders are closed, we understand that. But the thing is, just how we have our borders closed here, just so other countries have their border closed. You see, in a situation like this, you have to give and take. You have to give and take. You have to know when the airlines fly in. You have to know if that country will allow you to come back in it. Because COVID-19 hits around the world very hard. Very, very hard. Now, the airlines are there. But that is if the country would allow the airline to pick up passengers and bring them to their country. So all you had to do is have a little patience. That is all. Next thing you go up there now, you're interacting with some friends now, you get COVID-19. You stick up there. What's going on? It's common sense. I was supposed to travel England when this COVID-19 hit Trinidad and Tobago. I was going on business in England. I had to stop. I couldn't go. Yes, we understand his work. We understand his work, but you just have to have some patience. So, we're looking for this woman, Priya Singh. With the friends and family of Priya Singh, would you tell them Saeed from Real Talk is looking for her? Contact me at 339-1670. That is my cell phone. You can contact me here and we will talk. My dear, please contact before the police steps in. And that is all I will say until further notice. Caller, good night.
Yeah, Mr. Saeed.
Yes, sir.
Good night. Yeah, lad. I'm talking about the Ireland fight, Rowley fight, you know. The amount of money them keep, and you have money hiding all over. He could walk out the parliament, you know.
Thank you, my friend. So, Priya, my dear. Priya, my dear. Would you contact us? It is in your best interest. In your best interest that you contact me. 339-1670. Contact me tomorrow. It will do us both a favor. Caller, good night.
Hi, Saeed. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'm calling you because I just heard the news about the UNC candidates, and I think I am a bit dissatisfied with what I'm hearing. I was thinking that they were going to take Kevin Ramnarayan as a man. That is a man from Guayco. We need him. And I can't understand why we must take somebody from Chaguanas to represent Komoto Manzanilla. the road in Lehman Road, for instance, on the fishing pond area, that road has not been paved or even a pothole filled in the last 10 years. I don't understand what's going on, but I would like to see Mr. Ramnarang come on the scene before the election date. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So we're moving on to Wassa now. You know, Wassa said they have no money. They're bankrupt. 1 minute they're bankrupt, next minute they're losing millions in COVID-19. So we don't know if they have money or they may have money because the truth is coming out. But anyhow, the Water and Sewage Authority, WASA, has announced plans to amid water supply schedule to increase water trucking as the water supply situation at the National Reservoir has not improved despite being 1 month into the wet season. The depleted storage at the Arena, Hollis, and Navet dams in Trinidad would require significant rainfall over the coming months to recover the acceptable level. WASA has reported that the amount of water at these dams as of July 3rd are less than what they are on June 1st this year. I will tell you something. Every year for the 45 years, let's just say 30 years then, I'm going to extract the other 15. You know why? They will say we small and we foolish now. You know? So at least from 15 years old, I know about water in the pipe. Right? So for the last 30 years of my life, we're going to extract the last 15 years. Every year is the same thing. No different. Same thing. Why don't we build a desalination plant in Trinidad and use the salt water from the sea like other countries do? So we would fix our water supply in Trinidad. Am I saying something wrong? Or am I making a lot of sense? Because for the last 30 years, I have been hearing the same thing. Caller, good night. Hello?
And a very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
One of the things we have to understand that the government in power, whichever government in power, they control the strings of the purse. And only central government can release money for projects and whatnot. So even the ruling party, some of their constituencies are fine also. And two, retired Brigadier Ansel Antwine, he should be unceremoniously excommunicated from that party because he's a liability rather than an asset.
Oh, you hear what this man say?
For that statement he made about the United States.
Yes.
He is looking to have his visa revoked. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. The man said that is a something whole country. Imagine you're a brigadier. You hold a position and now you're going up as a MP and you make a statement like that. You condemning 30, 40 million people of our country, you know. People from Trinidad do trade with the US in a big way, on a big way. And to know a man, an MP, or somebody who going up as an MP could make such a statement, it's very, very distasteful. Caller, good night.
Hi, good evening, Said.
Yes, you're live on Real Talk. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for taking my call, Saieed. I just want to say that I agree with you very much on the point you raised regarding Massa and the person who is putting on themselves for an office. But I call in regard to the caller who called relative to the Kumuto UNC representative. You know, like you, I've been around Trinidad for a while. I'm not a young man. I'm not an old man, but I've been around. Every year, we ask for change. And you know, every year we get the same behavior. Here is this gentleman asking for a change, but he has not changed at all. You know, no, I just want to finish my first step. Because here is somebody, there is a representative that has been given to the UNC. Whether you like it or you don't like it, then that's your problem. You take your decision. Why do you have to call in to say, I don't want this one, I want that one, I want the other?
Thank you, my friend. We understand what you're saying. You see, that is why I do things in such a way that we want to hear what your MP did. We are not condemning none, because more or less in Trinidad and Tobago, there's two firm parties. There's the UNC, there's the PNM. And all we are asking is, what did your MP do? Like I said, if the other party was there presently, I would have been doing the same thing I'm doing now. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Now, the area I'm from is St. Augustine, and the UNC just win the seat. So don't want how come the UNC win, and the only producing failures. We just had Prakash Ramara, now they come and give it Khadija Amin. So it's just failures upon failures. Thank you, good night.
Thank you, my friend. You see, someone will remain in power based on their production. You wouldn't fire a good worker. You would look for somebody who's not performing in your company and causing liability, and you would send them home. But somebody who is performing, you wouldn't send them home. You would increase their salary. You would give them better working conditions. Caller, good night.
I say good night.
Right ahead.
The son is talking about the issue with water. Now, me and you seem to be around the same age bracket. And I always remember we gained good pipe water, drinking by any standby water. Now you had to buy water. Thanks to who? The People's National Movement, because they gave a certain sector of the society, range the wealth, who could produce water now. So you realize since the big bottle water industry take over Trinidad, the vast majority of the country not getting no clean water. That's what it comes down to. They don't really care about us on the side. They don't care about us. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. I want to hear from now until election. I want to hear about your communities. I want to hear about your representative. Caller, good night.
Hello, like I'm not going Senai, but she move a man like Fazal Karim. She won't take back a man like him. Something wrong with she, boy.
Probably they know who's best. They made their choice. They made their choice. But Trinidad and Tobago, you the individual, always remember you hold the power. Your power is not the barrel of a gun, you know, as they say. On the 10th of August, it is the power of your fingertip. That's right. You see on screen? That is the power you have. That is the power you would have come August the 10th. And you have to know who you want. Caller, good night.
Good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
Yes, Said, I noticed Wasta doing connection for people, right? And they're digging across the road. And they are fixing the road by when rainfall, that flowing water. And when you driving your vehicle, it come like you're mashing brakes from a distance and you do realize it.
True, true.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And that would cause accident. The man in the back would end up bouncing your motor car.
Yes.
You understand? And that was going on. Wasa, they are fixing no they're digging across the road, they're doing nothing.
Thank you, my friend. So we have about 10 minutes left on the program. Here's what I want to ask you tonight. When Wasa do a project, or they dig a trench across the road, who is responsible for fixing back that road just the way Wasa met it? In Trinidad, here what has happened. There is wait till you're done pave the road and then come and dig it up. And they will fill some blue metal on it and they will leave it right there. So what I want to know now, and I am definitely sure the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago would also want to know this. Who is responsible for fixing back the road when public utility, WASA, dig a trench across the road? Who is responsible? Is it Works and Transport is responsible for coming to fix back the road? Or is it WASA? This is what I want to know tonight. Because for far too long in Trinidad and Tobago, whenever we see this public entity, WASA, dig a trench across the road, it's always a problem. So who is responsible for that trench, that WASA? Is it WASA supposed to fix it back, pave it back properly, or is it Works and Transport have to come and fix back that road? Who is responsible? Who is responsible for that? Because it causes chaos. From that trench, from that little, about 8-inch wide, from that you will get a drain. And from a drain you will get a pothole. And next thing you know now, the road started to cave in. Call her good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead.
I'm calling to highlight the problem in Lassal Cross Mover. We haven't had no water up here for a while, and we don't know what is the problem.
Okay, this is in this.
Somebody to look into this place.
This is in Mova. Thank you, my friend. Who is the MP for Mova? Who is the MP? You see, this is the same thing as we saying. The MPs in the area, they are being held responsible for the area. And once an MP is active in the area, the council will always have work to do. Always. And that is what we want. We want a constructive MP. We want an MP who would come down and meet the grassroots. Call her good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead.
I'm calling from New York. I
New
just
York.
stopped to the border. My MP for Rima is Mr. Garcia. I'm on the bypass. He does nothing. Right now, Tilbury Avenue, bypass road Rima is in a mess. We have over 200 people inside of there. And this man has done nothing, absolutely nothing. And they bring our necks, they're hot again, penny beckers, nothing.
Thank you, my dear, for highlighting your matter. Now, I will explain something to you. This is not to condemn people, you know. I want to let you understand something. This is not to condemn, you know. This is to find out if your representative for your area have been working. Because you apply yourself to a position and you're asking the people to support you and put you in this position. When you reach into this position, you will turn your backs. You're turning your back as though you don't need these people. But this is the very same people. This is the very same people when rain falling, you're walking with an umbrella to go and meet Granny who can't walk in she bedroom. If I lie, you tell me, you know. All you does see it. All you does see it. Every 5 years you're seeing it. So we want to know, when they reach any position, did they perform? Are they worth putting back? Did they come and meet you after they were elected? Did they come down and shake your hand in your bedroom when the rain was falling after they have been elected? That's why I just always say, I ain't going up for no political platform, you know. None. You see what I'm doing here? I will continue doing this. I will continue doing this. Because they get a name as a politician. Hey, you're good for nothing. Hey, you do nothing in your community. Hey, it's only once in every 5 years that I see you. You see that name? I don't want a stigma. That is not Saieed Ali. I just make it my business to be here from Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. even though I'm under the weather. I'm making it my business to come here to keep you all up to date, to raise issues that we all in Trinidad and Tobago are facing on a daily basis. So I want to know, who is responsible for digging the 8-inch trench across the road? Who is responsible for fixing it? This is what I want to know. Because if the public utility that is responsible for fixing it, if they do their job, the roads in Trinidad and Tobago that we have presently would not be like this. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
I wanted to see somebody about library and the road. See the road here and everything. We have no kind of people looking at the road at all, like they're hiding.
MP for library?
Yes, the MP. We don't see him.
What's his name?
Bob.
Bob?
Yeah, Gerard.
What's his full name, Tanti?
Gerard Dibisette.
He's the MP for library?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, my dear. So Tanti have not seen the MP for library in years. So I want somebody to call in and tell me, some official or somebody who's sitting down in a position, who is responsible when WASA did the 8-inch drain, I should say, across the road to fix line or to run line. Who is responsible for fixing that drain that they're putting across the road? Who is responsible for it? Is WASA responsible for pulling back and paving the road as they met it before? Or is it Works and Transport have to come back and fix that road before WASA, to how it was before WASA dig it up? Throughout Trinidad, you see the same thing. Line across the road dig, a drain dig across the road, you drop some blue metal, some stone in it, and it remain right there. So who's responsible for fixing back the road? Who's responsible for paving back the road or to make sure that the road is proper for vehicle to pass on and not trucks alone? Because I went in past of Trinidad and Tobago, like when it done, like you had to buy shocks, you had to buy ends. And then when you go down to license office now, they have license office roadblock. Well, you know your tire bad. This bad, that bad. So who is responsible? I don't know if somebody could answer that question. Because it seems like nobody knows who is responsible for it. Is WASA paying Works and Transport Ministry to dig up the road? It's something we need to shed light on. Because all over Trinidad and Tobago, on the main road, on a back street, we would see the same thing. We would see the same thing. What's that dig up across the road? They do what they have to do. They drop some stone on it, and that is it. That is it right there. What causes this? Who is responsible for this? Who is responsible for it? We want to know so we can know who to go to. Because I will tell you something. I will tell you something. If you tie a bus while driving, you know Works and Transport is responsible for the road? If you go down in a pothole and your bus a shock, you know Works and Transport is responsible? If all I didn't know, tonight all you know. They are responsible. So this is what we want to know, viewers. Who is responsible? Is WASA paying Works and Transport because they have to dig up the road, or Works and Transport supposed to come and fix the road after WASA dig it up? This is what we want to know. How many of you know? How many? I don't know. I am trying to find out. I am trying to find out. I guess we have about 1 minute left in our show tonight. Now, viewers, I'm also asking of you tonight, feel free to contribute $1,500 and over, or $1,500 and under towards the Rape Crisis Center. It is one of a kind. It will be the only one of a kind like that in Trinidad and Tobago, where a rape victim could actually come in and spend a week, 2 weeks, be comforted. The only one of its kind Rape Crisis Center in Trinidad and Tobago to be built. All we need is your support. That is all we need, your support into building this. Like I said, we already have the land. We already have the land. I just need your support in raising the funds to build it for you. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight. There's a rerun of this program at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we will be back up on Tuesday night for another episode of Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Be safe until we meet again. Remember, prayer, sing. Get in touch with me tomorrow at 339-1670 for your sake and my sake. For your sake and my sake. So anybody know this individual, the friend, the family, the neighbor? Tell her Saieed wants to have a word with her before the police steps in. And you know me. You know me. 339-1670. Be safe until we meet again. Good night.